Hi everyone, good morning. I thought today we could get ready together. So I do have a couple new makeup products, but mostly I thought let's just chit chat, get ready. I feel like I haven't done one of these videos in a long time. I can update you guys on my new job, little baby Ren, the house, the perimenopause stuff. So let's get ready together. I do have my coffee, delicious. And let's get this hair out of the way. I did have my hair done, like colored here pretty recently. And you may notice over time it's getting lighter and lighter. And that's just to combat the white. Like my hair is pretty much solid white at this point. And so we're lightening. I love the dark hair. I love having a rich, dark chocolate brown. But if I want that, I pretty much have to color like every 3 weeks. My hair grows pretty quick and it was just too much maintenance for me. So she's brought my highlights up. Well, she added in highlights and she's brought them right up to the root. So you're probably gonna see over time it get lighter and lighter, and that is why I am just trying to combat the white regrowth. Okay, so let's go in with some foundation. I did just recently do my morning skincare routine, and so my skin feels good, hydrated, all that. So I don't think I need a primer today. So I'm gonna go in with this foundation. This is from Juice Beauty. It's the Phyto-Pigments Flawless Serum Foundation. They did send these to me. The last video I did was my PR haul, which every time I say it, I just feel so beauty YouTuber. Anyway, so they sent these to me. I didn't even know Juice Beauty made makeup actually. So I was thrilled to get these and thrilled to try them. It is a very light, watery formula. I'll just put a little bit there so you can see. And I've been mixing the two shades. One is 11 Rosy Beige and the other one is 05 Buff. And I just mix them a little bit like that, and I kind of work. They did also send me their foundation brush, which I'm loving, and it is dirty, guys, as you know, quite often our brushes are. And I just sort of work in sections. I feel like that's the best way to use this foundation because it does really set down, which I like my makeup to set down. I don't want to have to go in with a whole bunch of powders. I want the makeup itself to kind of set on my face a little bit because you know you don't want to be rubbing your makeup off or have it all slide around, which I have dry mature skin, so it's not typically a huge issue for me. So I just sort of work in sections. This foundation brush does a really good job of blending it out. It's a very, very light formula. However, it offers a lot of coverage, like a surprising amount of coverage. When I think of like a full, well, so I would say this is kind of a medium coverage foundation. When I think of fuller coverage products, I typically think of, you know, thicker products, but that's not the case here. And it has, I would say, a skin-like finish. So it's not a dewy product. It really sets down. I don't want to say it sets down matte, but it definitely is not at all dewy for me anyways on my skin. If you have a bit, you know, if you've got some natural oils and stuff, maybe that's a bit different for you. But for me on my dry skin, it sets down pretty skin-like, again, almost, I don't want to use the word matte because that's not right, but it definitely doesn't have any dewiness to it. But what I do notice when I use this is how blurred my skin looks. It really has a lovely blurred effect. It applies easy. I don't have any issues. And it wears really well through the day. And right now with my new job, which I'll get into in a minute, I'm wearing a mask. And I do find that this wears really well under my mask all day. I'm not super thrilled to be back in a mask, but you know, here we are. Okay, so let me just show you this and then I'll get into my new job. Okay, so what I do is I typically blend it out like that and then I just go in with my sponge and lightly pounce over it just so that I don't have, you know, in case there's any brush strokes that I didn't blend out, and I just find this gives a nice overall effect after. Okay, I'm gonna get in nice and close so you guys can see. Now, because it does set down, and I don't want to say a powdery finish because that makes it sound drying and it's not, but it does almost look like I've put a blurring powder on my skin. So I've only used it a handful of times. I'm still playing with it, but it has really surprised me. There's things about it that I really, really love. And, you know, typically I want a incredibly dewy foundation, but I'm really loving the effect of this on my skin. Okay, I'm gonna get in with some other products now. I do have this one from Makiage for concealer. And again, they did send this to me. So I'm gonna get into some update stuff now. I'll show you the products, and I'll have everything linked below, but I won't necessarily talk about them too much. But I did wanna talk about that foundation a little bit because, again, it has been so surprising to me and it's pretty new. Okay, so I got a job. You guys, I don't even know that I was necessarily ready for a job, or, you know, I have not worked for a year. So I stopped working in January of 2022, and I've talked about this a lot, but for a whole bunch of reasons. But mostly I just wasn't able to handle the job anymore. And, you know, there's life stresses involved, there's perimenopause involved, there was job expectations involved, there was lots of factors. But anyways, I left my role. I had been there about 7.5 years, and it was a big decision. It was a hard decision because I loved the people there, and there were lots of things about the job I loved. So anyways, I worked at an ortho office and I was their treatment coordinator. So I do have a dental background. I'm a dental assistant is my licensing. And so I did chairside dental assisting for a lot of years. And then I did that treatment coordinator job at an ortho office, and I quit in January of 2022. And so we moved out of the city and into a smaller community. And where we're building our new house, it's like a brand new little community. There's like a little strip mall, and there's, you know, a gas station and a Tim Hortons, of course. And there's a taco restaurant. There's like a whole bunch of really cute little shops in there, but there is a little dental office in there. And I had seen the dental, because I noticed dental offices, right? And so I had seen it in there when I would drive by, you know, when we were deciding on where to build for our house and stuff. And I noticed it and I was intrigued. And then in the summer, they posted a job posting for a receptionist. But it was in the summer and we had just kind of gotten settled here. And, you know, our grandbaby wasn't due till October, and I kind of wanted to be flexible with my schedule for when the baby was born. So as intrigued as I was about the job, I didn't apply. And then little baby Ren, of course, was born in October. And I thought, that's our first grandbaby if you're new here. And I really thought they were going to need me every day. It turns out, as to be expected, that they're perfectly capable parents and are doing a fantastic job. And although they appreciate all the help that, you know, I offer, they don't really need it. And so I've taken meals and I've offered to pick stuff up, but, you know, honestly, they're just the best parents and they've needed less help than I had hoped. And so for me to stay home, you know, I really started to think about going back to work. And so in December, and so anyways, I'd been, you know, looking online, watching Indeed and all those things. In December, like right before Christmas, maybe a week before Christmas, I saw the ad pop up again for the dental office for a receptionist. And I thought, okay, am I ready? Is it time? Do I feel well enough to go back to work? And, you know, we talked about it quite a bit. My husband said, well, send a resume. Like, what does that hurt? Go see what it's like. Go talk to them. You know, if they're interested, and they call you, of course, because you could send a resume and nobody's interested in you. He said, what does it hurt? Send a resume and see. And so I did. I submitted my resume and I didn't hear anything for probably about a week. Again, over Christmas. We were out for lunch one day and the office manager called me. You know, he just wanted some information. We chit-chatted for a little bit, kind of told me a little bit about the role, you know, and then asked if I'd like to come either do like a working interview or, you know, just check it out. And so anyways, I went for just a regular interview, and it's this really nice clinic. It's pretty new. The dentist who is there owns it, which is always nice. And, you know, there's not a lot of staff. It's pretty new. And the people are lovely. And so I've been there about 3 weeks, and you know, it was kind of a steep learning curve, but you know, every day I feel like I'm getting the hang of it a little bit more, a little bit more, and it's been good. And so I'm glad that I decided just to, you know, I had been home a year, and so I had to really push myself to commit to something, honestly. But I'm so glad I did. Like, it's been good for me. It's good for me to get out of the house. It's good for me to be, you know, using my brain, learning new things, interacting with people, all of that, right? Because again, it had been a little bit. The job is going really good and I'm really enjoying it. And again, I'm very glad that I decided to submit a resume, and, you know, I'm thankful that they hired me and all of that. And it's blocks from where the new house will be, which I think is going to be just so amazing, right? Like, how nice and convenient and easy is that for me? So yeah, that's the new job update. It's still very, very new, but so far so good. What else do we want to go in with? So that's kind of got my base done. Look at that highlighter, you guys. That's so powerful. Let's do some brows maybe. This is pretty new to me too. It's from Real Her. It's a micro pencil I got off of the BoxyCharm. I've had lots of these over the years, but I had been without it for a little bit. And I think I paid like $5 or something in the Boxy pop-up. And I'm so happy to have it again in my collection because it is a fantastic micro pencil. So yeah, new job is always exciting and stressful and all those things, but so far so good. And again, the people are so nice at the office and just really welcoming and inviting and, you know, all of that. And it's always hard when you have new staff come in because, you know, you have to train them and it just adds to your workload. So I'm trying to, you know, pick it up as quick as I can so that I'm not a hindrance, but also, you know, my brain is not as quick as it once was. It's almost 50-year-old brain. The house build is going good. You know, this new office where I'm working is right by where, oh, I should say too, I was really hoping to maybe branch out from dental. I know I had mentioned that in a few videos and, you know, maybe try something new or do something new, but this community where I'm at is pretty small, and there were a couple job postings that came up that interested me, but honestly, not a ton. And I'm gonna go in with the e.l.f. Wow Brow. And so when this job came up, I just thought, well, let's give it a try. You know, sometimes you have one thing in your head, but, you know, life kind of hands you something else. And so again, I'm really thankful for this job and I'm happy to be getting out. And I work 4 days a week, which is perfect for me right now because I don't feel like I'm completely 100% from the perimenopause stuff, which I will touch on here in a minute. You know, I feel a lot better, but for sure not 100%. Okay, let's go in. This is also in my Shop My Stash. I have this Sephora shadow. It's a single shadow, and I think it's called Shock Chalk. And you guys, I love it. I absolutely love it. It is stunning. Yeah, so anyways, that's my work update. I've been there 3 weeks now and it's going really well. And I'm, again, really excited to be there. And then as far as the house build goes, our house has been framed. I'll pop a little picture out so you can see. So it's coming along. You know, we're still a long ways from when they sort of, you know, said it would be done, which was kind of next late summer, early fall. So probably like August, September is what we're expecting. And, you know, even with that, they have, you know, very clearly stated that there's, you know, there can be lots of delays and stuff that are kind of out of their control. So, you know, we're prepared for that, and it's fine, right? We want the house to be built and perfect and not necessarily just thrown up and ready in a certain amount of time. So we're fine to wait a little bit for it. I know lots of people have had stressful experiences with house building. We've been very lucky so far, knock on wood. It's been fine. It's not been stressful. The hardest part is me committing to picking things, which, you know, they even made that process very, very simple. Yeah, so it's been good. It's been pretty easy, honestly. We've already picked everything, so it's just a matter of them kind of assembling at this point. So yeah, and then, you know, update on little baby Ren. She is adorable. She's super chubby. She's super happy. And yeah, we did babysit overnight. You guys, there's a reason I had kids when I was young. I could not, I mean, I know there's women that have babies in their mid to late 40s, and good for you, because holy, I was so exhausted. Like, honestly, she kind of eats every 3 hours. So, you know, you get her cleaned up and changed, and then you get her fed, and then she'll sleep for like, I don't know, 30 minutes it feels like, and then you just sort of start that whole process again. And then in there you got to throw in some tummy time, and then you got to try to play with her a little bit, and that's all through the night. So we watched her Saturday into Sunday, and by the time Jake and Randy came back to get her, we probably looked like zombies, because just hadn't slept, right? We just were kind of up all night. How pretty is that shadow? I love it. Yeah, so baby's good, job is good, house is coming along, and then the perimenopause stuff. I know I've mentioned that, you know, I'm under the care of a gynecologist. I know I've talked about this in other videos, but she does have me on the birth control pill, which has alleviated a lot of my symptoms and kind of evened out my mood a little bit and all of that, but I'm still not 100%. I wouldn't say. And mostly what I find working is because, you know, having a job, there are stresses that come with that. And, you know, trying to manage my time. You guys have probably noticed there's been fewer videos. I struggle to get everything that needs to be done. And, you know, grocery shopping and all that. And my husband's been amazing and a lot of help, but still, you know, I was home for a year, and so my schedule was my own. I'm going to go in with this mascara from Prime Lash. Yeah, I'm struggling to manage my time. You know, I'm still wanting to get to the gym. I'm still wanting to do all the things that I had been doing. But, you know, now I've added in 4 days of working. And to be honest, like, I'm tired at the end of the day. You know, learning a new job, interacting with people, it just takes energy, and especially when I hadn't really done that in a year, right? So it just takes energy, and I feel like energy is something that I'm really short on. Like, I don't have the energy I once did. And more than that is I don't have patience like I once did. Like, I very easily feel flustered, and when I feel flustered, I feel like angry. Really angry is how I would kind of describe it. And so I get anxious and flustered, and not at work necessarily, more when I'm home. Thank goodness, can you imagine? But just trying to get everything done just feels like a struggle that I didn't have before the perimenopause stuff. Before my hormones tanked, you know, I worked a full-time job, a stressful, longer day, high energy job, and I did YouTube, and, you know, I did a lot of things, right? I had a much bigger house that I maintained and all that. And then when perimenopause hit and my hormones just went in the toilet, that's when I just couldn't handle that anymore. And I feel like, although I am on, you know, birth control pills, so I am getting some hormones, it's not the same as it was. I just don't have the ability to manage my stress like I once did. That's kind of the biggest thing I'm struggling with right now. So that's probably my biggest thing right now. I did see her recently, and the gynecologist, and she did, because I've been on this pill now 4 or 5 months. She wanted to do a couple more months and then sort of reevaluate how I'm doing. I don't feel like this is probably as good as it could be, but again, I know she's kind of limited with what she can use, because she has said that to me, that this is probably our best option. And the pill I'm on is working. I do feel better, And, you know, like, not that hot flashes were the worst thing, but like not my worst symptom. They're horrible. I'm not saying they're good. They're horrible. But they were not my worst symptom, but I haven't had a hot flash since I went on the birth control pill. So that's really nice. Definitely my moods are more even than they were, but I don't feel like I'm as good as I could be either. But then when I was talking to her at this last visit, which I think that was last week, she said, well, our options are the dose you're on or double that dose, which, you know, she said, I'm happy to do that if you want to try it. But I'm like, well, double dose seems, I don't know. And she said it was still fine, still within the range of, you know, safety, but I don't know. I was hesitant. So she said, well, let's keep trying this dose for, you know, a couple more months. And then I'm going to have another internal ultrasound done just to kind of see what's going on in there. And yeah, we'll go from there. I do have this powder too from, oh, also from Real Her, actually. I got this in a BoxyCharm box, and it's their blurring veil. And I was curious, see, when I tip all that darkness, I wonder if we set a little, just a little. I'm always trying to find, did that help? Maybe not, hey? I'm always trying to find something to help with my hollowness under here. What do we think? Maybe, I don't know. Once I tip, I think the effect is gone, but we did one eye, so we better do the other. And I'm gonna go in with this one from Tarte, just a little tinted gloss or tinted balm, I think is all I need today. I'm gonna go see if I can get my nails done, and I have a little bit of running around to do. Hopefully get to the gym. There we go. Makeup is done, ready for the day. I've got a bit of running around to do today, and hit the gym. Is there, you know, I'm still trying to go to the gym, really just days off. Honestly, if you work and you go to the gym in the same day, you are a superhero. Like, I can't. I come home from work, get dinner going, and collapse on the couch. That's the kind of energy I have. So if you are going to the gym after you have worked your work day, you're amazing. Honestly, amazing. So my goal is to get to the gym. Albie, stop. My goal is to get to the gym on my days off. So I work 4 days a week. So I'm hoping, you know, my goal is to get to the gym the other 3. And it's tricky, right? Like, I have to really prioritize. So I'm gonna try to get to the gym today, do a bit of running around. Yeah, and that's about it. I've got, you know, of course, as always, a list a mile long of things that I could be doing. So, you know, always a long to-do list. So I hope you guys are doing well. I hope you enjoyed the life update. And yeah, I will see you in my next video. Bye, everyone.